What if everything you've ever been told about reality is incomplete? What if a long-forgotten figure from ancient Egypt held the keys to immortality, the nature of consciousness, and the ultimate truth about our universe? His name was Thoth, not merely a god or a legend, but a force beyond time itself. A keeper of knowledge so profound that his teachings were said to transcend mortality. Thoth's influence can be traced throughout ancient mystery schools, the foundations of Hermeticism, and even the hidden philosophies underpinning modern spirituality. But his wisdom was never intended for the masses. The most sacred knowledge, secrets of ascension, the nature of reality, and the laws governing existence were locked away, buried beneath layers of myth, distortion, and deliberate suppression. Who benefits from keeping humanity in the dark? And what happens when we finally reclaim what was lost? To understand the mystery of Thoth, we must journey back to the very beginning, the birth of a god unlike any other. In the vast pantheon of ancient deities, few stand out like Thoth. He was not just a god, nor just a myth. He was a cosmic force, an architect shaping the very foundations of knowledge, time, and reality itself. In Egyptian mythology, Thoth was known as Jehuti, the divine scribe, the one who measured the heavens, recorded the deeds of gods and men, and held the keys to the unseen forces governing existence. He was the mind behind the universe's balance, the creator of language, the master of wisdom, and the guardian of hidden knowledge. But Thoth's role wasn't limited to Egypt. His influence transcended time, reappearing across different ages under various names, always watching, always guiding. Unlike other gods bound by the myths of their civilizations, Thoth was timeless. Legend holds he was present at the dawn of creation itself, witnessing the emergence of the cosmos. The Egyptians believed that without him, the world would spiral into chaos. That reality itself depended on his presence. He wasn't just a deity, he was the mind of the universe, a cosmic librarian maintaining order in a world built on duality. Thoth's wisdom was unparalleled, and his knowledge wasn't merely theoretical. It was the kind that could reshape reality. Often depicted as an ibis-headed figure, the ibis symbolized intellect and divine connection, representing clarity, precision, and the pursuit of hidden truths. In other images, he appeared as a baboon, a sacred creature linked to wisdom, lunar cycles, and esoteric understanding. Though his image is well known in Egyptian art, Thoth's presence extends far beyond statues and hieroglyphs. His teachings were so powerful that only those truly ready could access them. He is said to have inscribed the deepest secrets of existence into sacred texts, books so potent that reading them could grant unimaginable wisdom, or, if the reader was unworthy, complete madness. These writings, known as the Books of Thoth, were believed to contain the very fabric of reality, the mysteries of life, death, and ascension. They were hidden away, locked or buried, to prevent misuse. Yet, despite the rise and fall of civilizations, Thoth's wisdom never vanished. It seeped into Egypt's mystery schools, taught only to the initiated. His presence appeared in Greek traditions, where he merged with Hermes to form Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great Hermes, reputed author of the Hermetic Corpus. This link between Thoth and Hermes is no accident. Both were divine messengers, beings who traversed physical and spiritual realms, revealing cosmic truths to those prepared to listen. The Kybalion, inspired by Hermetic philosophy, echoes Thoth's principles, reinforcing the idea that the universe operates on immutable hidden laws. But what if the deepest truths, the ones too powerful for public disclosure, still remain hidden? What if the real secrets of Thoth are only found by seekers willing to explore the right places? Some knowledge is too profound, too dangerous to share openly. That's why platforms like Insight's Academy exist, to dive deeper into mysteries that cannot be fully discussed publicly. Sign up through the link below and receive a free copy of the Kybalion, a text believed by many to hold keys to Thoth's ancient wisdom. Thoth wasn't merely a scribe or wise god. He was a force transcending time. His name may have changed, but his message remains constant. Knowledge is power, but not all knowledge is meant for free distribution. His teachings, encoded in sacred texts and hidden traditions, point to a reality where consciousness is not just awareness, but an active force shaping the world. What did Thoth truly understand about the mind, the universe, and existence itself? And why do seekers of his wisdom often uncover far more than expected? To answer this, we must turn to the greatest mystery of all, the legendary Emerald Tablets. Some call them myth, others believe they hold the secrets of Ascension itself. Whatever the case, their contents have the power to shatter everything you thought you knew. The Emerald Tablets carry an aura of mystery and power, secrets forbidden to most. Within their words lies a roadmap, not only to wisdom, but to something far greater. The secret of immortality, the nature of consciousness, and the structure of existence. These are no ordinary texts. The tablets are said to be the direct writings of Thoth, inscribed thousands of years ago, long before recorded history. Unlike other ancient manuscripts, they are believed indestructible, impervious to decay, surviving through the ages as if meant never to be lost. Legends say Thoth, possessing knowledge beyond human grasp, engraved the tablets in a material beyond metal or stone, something eternal and unbreakable. These inscriptions were designed to preserve ultimate truths capable of unraveling life, death, and Ascension's mysteries. Yet, as powerful as they were never intended for everyone. Thoth understood that knowledge in the wrong hands brings destruction, not enlightenment. That is why the tablets were hidden, locked away in secret places, buried beneath sands of time, awaiting those worthy enough to uncover them. What exactly do these ancient inscriptions reveal? They speak of cosmic laws governing unseen forces, the power of the mind to shape and control reality. They describe fundamental universal principles resonating with Hermeticism, alchemy, and even discoveries in modern quantum physics. Among these principles is the famous phrase, "As above, so below, as within, so without." A simple statement carrying the entire structure of existence. It teaches that the macrocosm and microcosm mirror each other, that the universe is not separate from us, but reflects our innermost thoughts. The tablets go further, revealing that time is an illusion. Past, present, and future exist simultaneously. Masters of these hidden laws can step outside time's bounds. They describe the soul's journey, moving beyond death and transforming from mortal to a higher state of existence beyond the physical plane. Some believe these tablets form the foundation of all mystical teachings, from the Egyptian pyramids to medieval alchemy to modern energy and vibration studies. Could it be that Thoth left more than wisdom? Could he have left a blueprint for human evolution itself? Despite their power, mainstream history largely dismisses the tablets as myth or symbolic writings with no real significance. But why? Who benefits from keeping this knowledge buried? Throughout history, those in power have feared independent thinkers. Truly understanding the Emerald Tablets would shatter the illusion that we are limited beings bound by this world's constraints. They reveal we are far more than we've been told. The mystery deepens. Some say the tablets were never lost at all. Secret societies, mystery schools, and powerful elites have guarded their knowledge for centuries, using it in ways the world was never meant to know. Could secrets of manifestation, energy control, and divine consciousness have been hidden in plain sight? Fragmented philosophies waiting for seekers to piece together? And what happens when this truth is finally uncovered? One thing is certain. Thoth did not leave his teachings to be forgotten. He ensured the wisdom of the tablets would be preserved, not only in physical form, but woven into the fabric of reality itself. Those who seek knowledge, who question existence, who look beyond illusion, will find themselves drawn repeatedly to these truths. But the question remains, are you ready to see beyond the illusion? Because once you do, there is no turning back. If the Emerald Tablets hold the keys to consciousness, what does that say about their creator? What did Thoth truly understand about mind, thought, and awareness? To answer, we must explore Thoth's mastery over consciousness and how his teachings point to a universe far stranger than we can imagine. If the tablets reveal the universe's hidden laws, then Thoth himself must have understood something far greater than recorded history suggests. He wasn't just a god of wisdom or writing. He was the architect of consciousness itself. The ancients didn't just revere him as a scribe. They saw him as a master of reality, someone who grasped existence's very fabric and knew how to mold it. What knowledge did he possess? Fragmented, hidden, or dismissed over centuries? The answer may lie in consciousness's nature. Throughout history, mystics, philosophers, and scientists have struggled to define consciousness. Where does it come from? Is it generated by the brain? Or is it something more expansive, something independent of the physical form? Modern science reduces consciousness to neurological activity, but Thoth's teaching suggests something radically different. He understood consciousness is not confined to the mind. It is the fundamental force behind reality itself. According to his wisdom, reality is not passively observed. It is actively shaped. Reality is a construct, a malleable energy field responding to thought and intense vibrations. Thoth described the universe as composed of multiple planes of existence, each with its own laws, interconnected through the mind's power. His teachings align eerily with what modern physics is only beginning to grasp. Reality behaves like a quantum field where observation influences matter, and consciousness may be the hidden variable shaping the material world. If this is true, our understanding of reality is incomplete. We are not merely physical beings moving through a fixed universe. We are participants, creators, co-authors of existence itself. One of Thoth's greatest revelations was the illusion of time. He did not see time as linear, moving from past to future, but as cyclical and layered, something that can be bent and traversed. If time is not what we think it is, what does that mean for memory, destiny, and reality's structure? The emerald tablets speak of the halls of Amenti, a mystical plane where time collapses, where past, present, and future coexist. This concept aligns with the Akashic records, ethereal archives of all that has happened, is happening, and will happen. Could Thoth have accessed this knowledge? Did he know how to step beyond time itself, witnessing reality from beyond human perception? His teachings also touch on vibration, a principle echoed across millennia of spiritual traditions. Everything vibrates: energy, thought, matter. The difference between physical and non-physical is frequency. Those who understand this, who tune their consciousness to higher vibrations, gain access to realms beyond the physical, beyond ordinary senses. This is why the ancients saw Thoth not just as a god, but as a bridge between worlds, a being who could navigate existence's hidden dimensions. If consciousness is the key to shaping reality, why is this knowledge not widespread? Why are people taught they are separate from the universe, powerless in circumstance's face? The answer is unsettling. A population aware of its consciousness's power is impossible to control. If you truly knew your thoughts shape your experience, your mind is not confined by imposed limits. Would you accept the world as it is, or would you begin to reshape it? This is the knowledge hidden, diluted, and kept from the masses. It is why spiritual texts have been rewritten, why the mystical is labeled myth, why seekers of truth are ridiculed. Yet, Despite all suppression attempts, Thoth's wisdom has never fully disappeared. It survives in symbols, secret societies, whispered teachings of those glimpsing beyond the veil. For those ready to listen, it waits to be understood. But Thoth's understanding of consciousness was not limited to thought and vibration. He revealed something more mysterious. Death itself is an illusion. If consciousness is eternal, what happens after leaving the physical world? Does Thoth's wisdom extend beyond life, beyond our known limits? The answer may change everything. If Thoth possessed knowledge of conscious time and reality's hidden structure, did he ever truly die? Or did he master the ultimate secret, moving beyond death, existing beyond physical form? For centuries, esoteric traditions have hinted Thoth never ceased to exist. Instead, he walked among humanity, reincarnating throughout history under different names and forms, returning whenever his wisdom was needed most. In Egyptian myth, Thoth was immortal, witnessing creation's dawn and existing beyond time's end. Unlike other gods, he was not born into divinity by lineage or worship. He was self-created, a force emerging beyond material existence. He recorded all knowledge, not just God's, but humanity's past, present, and future. Egypt's mystery schools believed he perfected the ability to leave his body at will, travel dimensions, and return in different incarnations, carrying fragments of past wisdom. One well-known identity linked to Thoth is Hermes Trismegistus, the legendary sage of the Hermetic tradition. When the Greeks encountered Egyptian wisdom, they saw undeniable parallels between Thoth and their god Hermes, the messenger, guide of souls, master of esoteric knowledge. To the Hermetics, Hermes Trismegistus was not merely a god, but an enlightened man, authoring profound philosophical and mystical texts like the Hermetic Corpus, which laid foundations for alchemy, astrology, and sacred geometry. Hermes Trismegistus was Thoth reborn, continuing his divine mission under a new name in a new age. But he was only one of many. Some traditions claim Thoth's reincarnations extend further, appearing as great teachers, visionaries, and philosophers throughout civilizations. His presence is traced in legends of Enoch, the biblical patriarch who walked with God and ascended without death. Some suggest he influenced Pythagoras, whose mathematical revelations mirror sacred geometry in Egyptian temples. Others point to ascended masters of ancient mystery schools, figures possessing knowledge beyond their time, whose writings echo Thoth's wisdom. What if the greatest minds in history were not just influenced by Thoth, but were Thoth himself, returning repeatedly to guide humanity? If true, the implications are staggering. Certain souls, having reached enlightenment, might move through time with full awareness of their purpose, carrying forward knowledge from past lives. This explains why some ancient texts describe ascension not as metaphor, but literal transformation, where the physical body is left behind and the soul continues free from birth and death's cycle. If Thoth has reincarnated throughout history, guiding humanity, where is he now? Has he appeared in modern times under another identity, waiting for those ready to recognize him? Or has his wisdom been scattered, waiting to be pieced together by truth-seekers? One thing is clear: his influence never truly vanished. His teachings remain embedded in esoteric traditions and secret knowledge passed down through ages. Those who resonate with his wisdom, drawn to his mysteries, may be closer to uncovering the truth than they realize. Thoth's greatest revelation wasn't just knowledge. It was about what lies beyond this world. If his teachings are right, death is an illusion, and the soul's journey is far grander than commonly believed. What did Thoth know about the afterlife, and how did he describe transcendence? That is the next mystery to unravel. If Thoth was more than a god, if he was a force beyond time, a being reincarnating through ages, then his understanding of death must surpass what we've been taught. To the ancient Egyptians, death was not an end but a transition, a doorway to another existence, a passage where the soul ascends to greater knowledge or becomes trapped in the rebirth cycle. At the center of this was Thoth, the keeper of wisdom, guide of souls, recorder of the departed's fate in the book of life. But was this mere mythology, or did Thoth leave behind deeper truths about what happens after death? The Egyptian Book of the Dead describes the soul's journey, trials and tests determining if it is worthy of transcendence. The most famous is the weighing of the heart, where the deceased stands before Osiris, their heart weighed against Ma'at's feather, symbolizing divine truth and balance. If the heart is light, the soul progresses to higher realms. If heavy with sin, it is devoured, forcing reincarnation. Rarely discussed is that Thoth recorded these judgments. He wasn't passive, but inscribed the soul's fate, understanding existence's deeper mechanics beyond the physical. Here, the mystery deepens. In the emerald tablets, Thoth doesn't depict death as an end, nor the afterlife as reward and punishment. Instead, he speaks of transformation, the ability to transcend and break free from the cycle altogether. He describes the halls of Amenti, an underworld realm where souls travel between incarnations. He also mentions beings who don't die, but choose when to leave their bodies, existing in heightened awareness. These beings, he says, have learned to navigate the universe's unseen forces and ascend beyond material limits. What does this mean? Could Thoth have been more than a god of wisdom, a guide to something greater? A system of knowledge enabling the soul to consciously control its journey through life, death, and beyond. Modern physics begins to reveal consciousness's strange nature. Some theories suggest awareness isn't confined to the body, but exists independently of the brain. Ancient spiritual traditions speak of leaving the body and traveling beyond physical limits. If Thoth's teachings align with this, death is not an ending, but a shift, a transition between states governed by acquired knowledge. No wonder secret societies have been obsessed with Thoth's teachings, from ancient mystery schools to today's esoteric orders. If consciousness exists beyond the body, masters would no longer be bound by physical rules. If this knowledge was available to all, death would lose its power as a tool of control. Perhaps this explains why much of Thoth's wisdom has been hidden, obscured by time and deliberate deception. If people realize they are more than their bodies, if they saw themselves as part of something eternal, the whole structure of fear and obedience controlling the world would collapse. But there's more. Thoth spoke of those who don't simply pass through afterlife, but return repeatedly as guides, teachers, and guardians of knowledge. Could the greatest spiritual figures be connected to Thoth's lineage? Did they tap into his knowledge, the hidden laws of consciousness and reality? If so, what does that mean for us? If Thoth was right, we are not bound by fate or powerless before death. We are part of something far greater, deliberately hidden, but never truly lost. If we reclaim this knowledge and awaken to what's been forgotten, we may finally understand what Thoth knew all along. Life and death are two sides of the same illusion. If that illusion has been used to keep humanity ignorant, what other truths have been erased from history? How much more of Thoth's wisdom remains buried, hidden, or distorted? The answer may shock us. If Thoth understood consciousness, time, and existence's true nature, why has his wisdom been obscured by myth and secrecy? Why are teachings that shaped ancient civilizations now dismissed or ignored? The deeper we look, the more it's clear. Thoth's knowledge was never meant for everyone. It was preserved in symbols, hidden in sacred texts, whispered through secret traditions. But who decided to conceal this wisdom? What happens when it's rediscovered? Throughout history, great knowledge has always been suppressed, hidden from public view, reserved for the few. The Egyptians revealed mysteries only to initiates. The Greeks transformed Thoth into Hermes Trismegistus, encoding his teachings in hermetic texts accessible only to seekers. In the Middle Ages, alchemists and mystics guarded his wisdom in allegory and symbol, ensuring only the ready could understand. Even today, traces of Thoth's knowledge remain in philosophy, quantum physics, and esoteric traditions, hidden in plain sight. But if this knowledge is meant to enlighten humanity, why has it been buried, diluted, or ridiculed? The answer is simple. True wisdom threatens those who seek control. If people realize they are not powerless creators, but shape their own reality, existing structures, religious, political, financial, would collapse. All rely on the belief that power lies outside the individual. Thoth's teachings dismantle this illusion, revealing that power is internal, enlightenment is earned, and divinity exists within. Consider the Emerald Tablets. They describe universal laws and keys to transcending the physical. If these tablets were mere mythology, why do secret societies, occultists, and elites continue referencing them? Why have scholars, philosophers, and alchemists devoted lifetimes to decoding their messages? Could the fragments we have be only parts of something much larger, deliberately obscured? Some say passages have been removed from public access. Others suggest true knowledge is kept in elite circles, passed only to the worthy. And then there's the most unsettling possibility. The full knowledge never disappeared, but was weaponized, used by the powerful to shape the world according to their desires, keeping humanity blind to its potential. If so, the greatest secret is not just that Thoth's wisdom exists, but that it has been turned against us, used for control, not liberation. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. Thoth's knowledge cannot be erased. It has survived thousands of years, resurfacing again and again, waiting for those ready to see it. What will you do? Dismiss it as myth, superstition, irrelevant? Or will you look deeper, question everything you've been told, and seek the wisdom deliberately kept from you? Once you begin, there is no turning back. The illusion starts to crumble, revealing something far more powerful than you imagined. Thoth's teachings were never just knowledge. They were about transformation, breaking free from illusions binding us, reclaiming the divine power always within. But knowledge alone is not enough. Awakening is only the first step. The real question: how will you use this knowledge? How will you apply it in your life? What happens as more people remember what was once forgotten? The age of forgetting is ending. The age of awakening has begun. Thoth's wisdom, hidden for so long, is finally being remembered. But the journey doesn't end here. Now that we've uncovered what was lost, we must ask, how do we use this knowledge to truly awaken? How do we break free from forces that kept it hidden? That is where true transformation begins. Knowledge by itself is not enough. You can decode ancient wisdom, glimpse beyond illusions, but unless you apply it, let it transform your thoughts, perceptions, and actions, it remains just powerful information, powerless in your hands. Thoth did not preserve his teachings for passive observation. He left a blueprint for those ready to awaken, to step beyond imposed limitations. Are you ready to use it? His teachings were never about mere intellect. They were about understanding reality's nature so deeply, it changes everything. He spoke of the mind as existence's architect, the force shaping worlds, bending reality itself. As above, so below, as within, so without, is more than poetic wisdom. It is a direct statement about how the universe works. What happens inside you reflects in the world around you. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs shape the reality you experience. Consciousness is the most valuable and most controlled force in existence. Systems don't need to imprison you physically when they can imprison your mind. If they dictate what you believe, they already shape your world. This is where Thoth's wisdom becomes more than historical curiosity. It is a tool to undo conditioning, break invisible mental chains placed since birth. His knowledge reveals you are not a passive reality participant. You are a creator. The limits you perceive, the obstacles you face, your very existence are results of vibrational patterns set by your consciousness. If you understand this, you can change it. You can rewrite your reality. But awakening isn't easy. It requires unlearning, dismantling false narratives, conditioned responses, deeply ingrained beliefs shaping your self-view and world perception. It demands stepping into uncertainty, questioning what you've been taught and why you accepted it. Thoth's teachings guide seekers through this process. Yet one fundamental obstacle prevents most from taking the first step: fear. Fear is the most powerful control tool ever created. It keeps people stagnant, resisting change even when truth calls. Fear of rejection, failure, stepping outside societal bounds. But Thoth's wisdom cuts through this illusion. He knew fear is not to be avoided, but understood. It signals the threshold between the known and possible. Those who recognize this and refuse fear's control truly awaken. This is why Thoth's teachings were hidden, not to keep them from you, but because the world was designed to keep you from them. Accessing this knowledge requires shifting perception, seeing beyond the immediate, beyond surface presentations. That's why truth seekers are ridiculed, challengers dismissed as delusional, those speaking of deeper realities met with resistance. Because once awakening begins, the illusion loses power. But knowledge alone does not break the cycle. Action dismantles control. Practice transforms wisdom into experience. It's one thing to know your consciousness shapes reality. It's another to live as if it's true. What thoughts do you entertain? What beliefs do you reinforce? What limits do you impose without question? These are the real prisons Thoth sought to help humanity escape. The question remains, how do you use this knowledge? How do you take ancient truths and apply them today? How do you reclaim what's been suppressed for so long? That is the next step, the final piece. Awakening is only the beginning. The challenge and test lie in what you do with it. If you're ready, it's time to act, time to break free. Awakening is the first step. Knowledge without action is just words, ideas without form, unrealized potential. Thoth's wisdom was never meant for passive consumption. It was meant to be applied, lived, integrated into every moment. He didn't just teach reality is shaped by consciousness. He provided means to wield that knowledge, to step beyond limitation, reclaim hidden power. The real question, will you use it? Or will you retreat into comfortable illusions designed to contain you? The first step to applying Thoth's wisdom is shifting your perception of reality. You've been conditioned to believe the external world is fixed, something outside you, independent of your mind. This illusion traps you, making you feel subject to forces beyond control. But Thoth taught reality doesn't exist separately from the observer. It is fluid, shaped by frequency, intention, and consciousness. Once you understand this, everything changes. Limits dissolve. The idea of fate, predestined suffering, life dictated by external forces, all fall apart. The second step is mastery of thought. Thoth revealed thought is not passive, it's the architect of existence. Every idea, belief, and expectation is a vibrational imprint molding your world. You've been using this power unconsciously, directed by programming designed to keep you confined. Education, religion, media, all condition you to reinforce limitations. But when you reclaim your thoughts, consciously choose beliefs and expectations, you step into creator, not created. The third step is breaking fear's cycle. Fear maintains control. Fear of failure, rejection, stepping outside acceptable norms keeps people obedient. Thoth understood fear is illusion, a perception distortion limiting human potential. Stop fearing the unknown. Embrace uncertainty as a gateway to growth. You dismantle the greatest control tool ever devised. Those who walk this path, refusing fear's rule, break free from illusions binding humanity. Thoth's wisdom was never for a select few. It's for those ready. But readiness isn't knowledge alone. It's action. It's stepping beyond theory, embodying truth. You've been given the keys. Now the choice is yours. Will you live shaped by illusions and limits? Or will you apply these principles, reshape reality? Thoth did not merely record knowledge. He showed the way. Those who follow it will never see the world the same. But one final question remains. If reality can be reshaped by consciousness, what does that mean for the future? What role will you play? Everything changes when you understand the truth, when you see beyond illusion, when you realize reality is fluid, responsive, shaped by your consciousness. You cannot go back. You notice patterns designed to blind you, the invisible forces dictating beliefs, fears, and limits. For the first time, you understand you were never truly bound. The door was never locked. You only believed it was. Thoth's wisdom wasn't just knowledge, it was transformation. He left a blueprint, a key to existence's hidden mechanics. Those who've studied the emerald tablets, hermetic principles, and deeper mysteries know awakening is a process. It doesn't end with awareness. It begins there. Once you see reality's nature, you face a choice. Step into your power or ignore it. Use this knowledge or let it remain intellectual curiosity. Knowing is not enough. The world is shaped by those who act. For centuries, humanity's been trapped in cycles of forgetting and remembering. Great knowledge surfaces only to be buried again. Teachings awaken minds only to be distorted, diluted, or lost. But what if enough people wake up? What if the cycle is broken? When knowledge can no longer be suppressed? When illusions crumble under truth's weight? The future of consciousness is not predetermined. It's created now, every moment, by those choosing to remember. Our reality reflects the collective mind. Systems exist because enough people believe in them. Society's limits persist because enough accept them. Just as the past was shaped by knowledge wielders, the future will be shaped by those who reclaim it. This is what Thoth understood. The mind is the true architect. Belief is existence's foundation. Those mastering consciousness will master reality. But the journey doesn't end. If anything, it's just beginning. So much remains hidden. So much yet to uncover. If you feel drawn to deeper truths, you're not alone. Mysteries too vast and powerful can't be shared openly. But for seekers, the doors always appear. The knowledge waits, ready to be found. But it requires action, commitment, and willingness to step beyond possible. The deeper truths of Thoth's wisdom, insights beyond this space, are available to those ready. If you're ready to continue, to go beyond surface and uncover what's hidden, take the next step. Sign up for Insights Academy via the link below. Receive a free copy of the Kybalion, a text guiding seekers for generations. The opportunity is here. The question is, will you take it? Because knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is freedom. Now the choice is yours. If this video resonated with you, let us know by commenting, "I understood it."